And here we are, round 5, and I'm 5 for 5 on the dice roll. So there you have it. If you play Goblins, you're 100% to go first in every match. This hand is totally acceptable, a bit hinging on drawing a second mountain so I can actually deploy things in a timely manner, but Lightning Bolt wouldn't either be great. Well, it would probably be good, but is it better than looking for a land? It might not even be that great depending if they're like some sort of gold fishing type deck, so we'll see. And Oboro, the Palace in the Clouds. Is this Mono Blue Tron? Because if it is, I have some artifact destruction spells for them. I have to say I've quite enjoyed playing this daily event. I have this brand new PC setup, so I'm really not used to doing things like clicking on things with a mouse instead of my laptop. So over time, hopefully, I'll get a bit better at this talking thing while also being able to manipulate a mouse at the same time. I wonder if they don't realise they need to discard. Sorry though, I'm sitting here in a blisteringly hot summer day, but I'm inside, it's quite cool, I have some wine, everything's great. I see. Well, I'm glad I bottomed the last one, since the second one, doing Lava Spike one turn at a time isn't that great. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Well, that's Chalice of the Void on 1 and Natural Drawn into Warmth Engine. It all started off so well. So obviously I'm going to bring in this thing since it can mine them a little bit. I'm going to bring in Pile Driver since they can't really deal with that. I'm going to bring in these Smashes. See, Blood Moon's sort of interesting in that it's not actually very good against Mono Blue Tron. Since they don't, obviously games like that where they can just naturally have it, it's great. But it's not really that important because they have counter spells, they can just draw cards and then you can play their reasonably costed threats. I'm still going to bring it on the play for sure, but on the draw I think it might be getting the axe. Let's see, I think Mog Fanatics, put in the weak side. Lightning Bolt's definitely very bad against them. I mean, I say definitely, they could obviously just bring in some absurd small creatures that I can't beat, but can't play around that now. And I'm going to bring out one Legion Loyalist. It's okay if I get to smash the Smithereens and Wurmcoil Engine, and maybe I can, prevent tokens from blocking. But I'm quite used to playing with and against Mono Blue Tron since my brother is a Tron aficionado, you might say. The main deck Chalices are definitely a strong inclusion against decks like mine's. I actually really like the angle it gives. Well, snap keeping this. Have a 1-drop, doesn't get bricked by Chalice on turn 2, and I get to curve out, hopefully. Repeal. Question next is to whether I'm supposed to play Pile Driver or Kenko's Command. I think it has to be just Pile Driver, especially since I just drew this thing, which combines really well with Bushwhacker. I guess I'll attack first, because they do actually have relevant cards that they can play at this mana cost if they have Dismember in their deck. I'll give them an island. And hey, this actually has relevant text against repeal. How about that? I think in general, Goblins is actually reasonably well positioned against them. Warping Well. I forgot about that one. Well, I didn't exactly forget. I was expecting more spatial contortions, but that's okay. The matchup was very swingy though, because some of the cards that they have are so insane against something like Burn or Goblins that it's hard to overcome. I think we're actually better against them than a regular Burn deck is. Since Chalice is way better against Burn, since we can actually have things that are in play and don't care anymore about that, but Smash. There could easily be a Spell Pierce or a Spell Snare, but they didn't have it and they got smashed, literally. I don't think there's any need for changes. Like I say, this Blood Moon, it might be just bad on the draw. And yeah, I honestly don't think it's very good on the draw, and I just want another creature in my deck. So it's between Mog Fanatic and Legion Loyalist. It would imply, by the cards I currently have in my deck, that Legion Loyalist is better. But on the draw, I think it's more likely that they'll get to land a Batterskull. So Mog Fanatic's stock rises slightly as I get to chump block and dome them and maybe buy myself an extra turn. And while it's true that Legion Loyalist can also prevent Batterskull from blocking, it doesn't help so much if they're just attacking us and gaining more life than we're dealing anyway. So they mulligan to 6. I don't think I'm mulliganing to 6, even though I'm desperately want a second land. I mean, I have 2 1-drops and some decent 2-drops and a smash. They kept and bottomed. Alright, Region Goblin go. Starting to look pretty hairy if I don't draw a second land. Or at least more 1-drops. Chalice's Void, alright. Land. That's not a land. Well, you live the goblin life and sometimes you just get browned by Chalice's Void. But yeah, I still think this hand is just great if we draw second land on turn 1 or 2. I mean, this is obviously a bit late, but if we, I think we're better to just start deploying these. They're low on resources. They might not be able to deploy too much in the way of threats for a while. If I cast Smash, they can just redirect it to Spell Sky anyway. But maybe, just maybe, we can end up persuading them to block with the Spell Sky and then it dies on the Pile Driver at some point. Also, just smashing Spell Sky is just not very profitable because we'd only get in for 1 damage anyway. No. No. It's important to note that even a kick Bushwhacker still costs 1, so it does not defeat Chalice's Void. Well, this is a ton of grenades. I really hope that we draw a second smash at some point. I could be attacking, but there's no need to waste everyone's time. So Bar Skull. Chalice's Void on 2. Well, sure, why not? We're not technically dead yet. I mean, we're almost certainly dead, but they've only got 1 card. They could just flood out for a while. I could draw a 3rd land in, you know, like a Reckless Bushwhacker or something. Casting spells does nothing. Although I certainly would not blame you if you were to turn off the video at this point. But I'm certainly never gonna give up. It's fair to say that Shattering Spree would be much better against Chalice's Voids in multiples. Oh man, we even had it. We needed like 1 good turn of being able to cast spells, but we didn't quite get there. Solemn. I think that's about enough, don't you? I think it's time to pack up. Since I don't think we can realistically beat Solemn plus Academy Runes, considering we can't play our entire deck. So, thanks for joining me during this interesting trip into the land of goblins. We almost got there against some decent decks. I played kind of badly at times against cards that are insane against us, and we still managed to win 3 matches. And we were, 1 land off from winning against this guy as well. I'm fairly certain if we'd drawn it, so clearly not that bad. I think next time I'll either be playing more goblins or maybe something slightly more special with cards that I've never seen played before in Modern in their entire existence. So have a nice day.